So I've seen this a lot on social media, especially like a couple days after it happened, after he started showing improvements. Some law enforcement people have been posting, but I saw more common with people that work in healthcare, like nurses and like ER nurses, is how they basically the gist of their comments were all these millionaires stood around and watched as some medic was performing CPR to save his life
For $20 an hour.
for $20 an hour, and then they'd go to the hospital and then go on to the next call and save someone else's life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree. I don't really like that kind of talk from people because, given our job, especially mine, because I'm in forensics, you see you see that stuff all the time to the point where you're just kind of numb to death and people dying. Like, I mean, both of us have sat and watched someone bleed out or something like that. Especially somebody who plays in a professional sports setting or someone who's in an affluent position. That's not something that they see every day. That's something that really, really sits on their psyche.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I kind of think of it's a low blow for people as first responders or medics or nurses to really start making those kind of shots towards them.
So, absolutely. It's unfair to... So, people experience trauma, obviously, in different ways.
Yeah.
Something that's traumatic to us is obviously going to be different than something that's traumatic to a normal person that's not used to seeing what we see more commonly. So that situation we should never be blaming or shaming or putting any type of fault or anything on people that haven't experienced that type of trauma before and are having a traumatic response to it. Like, it just, anybody would. It's really no different than us going to, for example, a couple of weeks ago, I unfortunately went to a call for a suicide. It was in a very wealthy neighborhood. The couple, the wife is the one that committed the suicide. The husband found her. The couple was very, very wealthy. They had a beautiful house. They had... beautiful. It was decorated beautifully, and in this beautiful, wealthy, gated community, they obviously were very, very well off. And it was confirmed as well when the husband was saying, "We have he was trying to process everything, and he didn't understand." Which obviously, in a lot of times, suicides we don't understand. But he's sitting here saying, "She didn't need anything. We have anything that you could possibly want. We've got children. We've got grandchildren. We have everything we could possibly want." That would almost similarly or comparatively, me saying in that situation, this man makes all of this money and I'm sitting here and I've dealt with it,
Right.
He's going through a traumatic situation. And with all of those players, they're going through a traumatic situation. I mean, America kind of went through a traumatic situation watching that live. People don't normally see that. We can't blame people for not normally seeing the things that we know and understand as our job is to go out and see. Yeah. Does that mean, part of the point that when it comes to making money that we don't deserve more money? I absolutely think we deserve more money for the work that we do. However, it's not any other person's fault that they make the money they do and we make the money that we do. So the blame or the criticism doesn't need to be applied to the other people that are blessed and fortunate to make what they make. Right. We just need to apply the pressure and the criticism towards the people who make the decisions about what we make, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, I just wanted to see how you felt about those. Those are some...
It's not... I think it's okay to bring awareness to the fact that people, healthcare individuals, law enforcement, firefighters, any first responder has to see the things that are seen, because bringing awareness to mental health and people that experience trauma, whether you're desensitized or not to it, that's never a bad thing to do, to bring awareness. But when we start criticizing people that are going through traumatic situations in order to do that, that's not okay. It's never okay.
No, not at all. Again, it's something that we have to deal with unfortunately, we're the ones that have been tasked with dealing with those horrific situations. It's just some people, doesn't matter how much money you make, people handle stress differently, and something like that is a super, extremely stressful situation. And we were lucky, I mean, that he survived, and it looks like he's making amazing recoveries. I mean, he's no longer on a ventilator, or he's no longer on machines. He's
They took his feeding tube out, right? Too?
Yeah, I mean, he's able to talk on his own. He doesn't have to write down to talk. He's made significant. I mean, whether or not he plays in the NFL ever again is a different story.
Yeah.
But it could. I mean, it's based on how he's recovering. It's very possible next season he'll be back on the Bills playing again. I mean, and so I mean, I wish him the best recovery, and I hope that the rest of the. I mean, Bills Super Bowl.